Everyone needs yoga, I believe. Everyone needs yoga.
Yeah.
Before starting yoga, I was short-tempered. I used to shout at my parents a lot. Yoga is also about your breath, right?
Yeah.
So the more you do it with proper breathing, the more oxygen you get.
Hello guys, this is Diya.
And this is Raashi. Welcome to the second episode of
The Weird and Wise podcast. So, today we have someone who introduced me to the world of yoga, who is none other than Isha Jariwala, founder of Peaceful Minds by Isha.
So today's episode is all about unfiltered conversations about her journey, about yoga, and about fitness as a whole. So let's begin.
So, I really have this curiosity that what inspired you to pursue yoga as your career?
Initially, when I started practicing yoga, I never thought that I would actually make career in it, but I got so keen into it, so I even started posting it on social media. So once I started posting it on social media, a lot of people started to inquire that are you taking classes? Do you take classes? Can I come to your class? I was like, I don't actually take classes, but it wouldn't be bad if I...
And I am glad that I was her first batch.
Yes.
Quite happy about it.
Yeah. So once I got so many inquiries, I was like, it's actually to think about. I can think of it as a career. So I got my certification done and I haven't stopped since then.
Great.
So I think that inspired me, that a lot of people were interested in joining my yoga classes, and that was the best thing that could be happening. So that's what inspired me, I think.
That sounds so great. And before you started teaching yoga, did you experience some transformational changes within yourself because of the practice?
Yeah. Before starting yoga, I was quite short-tempered, I believe. So, of course, it didn't happen in just 1 or 2 days. It took me a lot of years, but before starting yoga, I was short-tempered. I used to shout at my parents a lot, I believe. But after these many years, after 2-3 years of practicing yoga, I believe that now I am a little bit calm and composed, I guess.
That's great.
That's the major change I've experienced so far.
I think yoga really, gives you that inner calm and inner peace.
That is true. Yes, and I guess it increases a lot of your mindfulness. Even when you're not on the mat, when you're doing other activities, you're like spreading such a positive aura right now. Also, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's good, when you're around her, it's always such, positive vibes. There's no negativity around her.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. And yeah, even I feel that I have not practiced yoga for a very, I have not practiced yoga consistently, I should say. But yeah, I got introduced to it.
My batch timings are 9 to 10, just in case.
Sure. I need it badly.
Everyone needs yoga, I believe. Everyone needs yoga.
Yeah.
Gives you a good posture.
Good posture, flexibility, strength.
I got introduced to it because of my mother, and
Same is with me. Like I was suffering from PCOD, so my mom suggested me that I should be starting yoga because it's quite beneficial to people who has PCOD. So after my mom introduced me, I started watching videos. I started my yoga journey from there, and I started getting more and more interested. So I think even my mom inspired me a lot because she is also one of the most keen person in yoga, and she has been practicing yoga much more longer than I did.
okay. I am very curious to ask, what is your favorite asana and why?
My favorite asana is Raj Kapotasana, which is pigeon pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because first of all, because of its aesthetic looks. It looks very beautiful. And it is also for flexible people, I believe, because it stretches your hamstrings, it stretches your quad muscles, it stretches your shoulders, back. So I believe that Raj Kapotasana is my favorite asana, and it also opens up your heart chakra, which is very good for your mental health and that's it.
Even I find that really relaxing, like especially after I've done my workout, I do like 10 minutes stretching and all of that. So pigeon pose is also my favorite. It looks so simple when you're doing it, but it is actually stretching your whole body and it is so good. Yeah. What is your favorite asana?
My favorite asana, oh my god, I think Chakrasana.
I knew you would say that. When she was my student, she always used to do chakrasana, and it was the best pose. It's the best pose she did.
Yeah, and I could even do the wall Chakrasana after I joined.
I think you even started chakrasan walk. I think.
Yeah, I did. It's all because of her, guys.
Okay, since you guys didn't ask me, I'll only say my favorite one is it is Sarvangasana. I really like that. Because
Can you
because
explain?
someone told me that it will reduce your hair fall. It will make my skin glow. So I was really interested in trying out, and it is really
You can also do Sirshasan for that matter.
Shirasana is like headstand. Okay.
Yeah, and
I even practiced that.
Yes, you did. You,
With the
Disha,
wall,
everyone did that.
Yeah, with the wall.
Yes.
I remember that.
I'm scared to do that right now, but I'll definitely try.
With her, you can do it easily.
That's embedded in my mind now.
Do you feel yoga is helpful for our skin too?
Of course it is. Like, see, yoga is also about your breath, right?
Yeah.
So the more you do it with proper breathing, the more oxygen you get. So when you do it with proper breathing, the flow of oxygen in your body increases, which helps your skin to glow. So I believe that it is one of the reasons why people's skin, hair starts to be better after starting yoga.
Now, I might sound very stereotypical right now, but a lot of people from our generation, from our age, think that yoga is something which is very slow and it is not their cup of tea, or maybe
It's for old people.
It's for old people.
No.
I'm not sure about it, but I really feel that yoga is for every single person. So
Yes. So there are different forms of yoga, different types of yoga, and that is Vinyasa yoga, Hatha yoga, and Yin yoga. So there are different types, dynamic yoga. So I think you just need to find that what suits or goes the best for you, and you just need to start that. Because, like for example, in Hatha yoga you have to hold postures for a few minutes, like say 2 minutes, 1 minute. And in Vinyasa yoga, you have to do it in flow. So I think for this generation, I would suggest Vinyasa yoga goes the best. So I think that covered your question.
yes,
Can you explain
a lot
Vinyasa
of people
yoga
don't
a little
know
bit?
that.
Vinyasa basically means flow. So you do each and every posture in a flow. So you don't hold a posture for more than a minute or say 30 seconds. You don't do that. You just do each and every posture once after the other in a flow or a sequence, let's say. So I think that works for today's generation. But once you are into it, I believe that you'll start performing Hatha yoga as well, because that's the foundation of yoga.
That's the only type of yoga I've ever heard about, Hatha yoga. And yeah, like I can guarantee you that like most of us don't even know there are so many types of yoga, and there is
Yeah, so the foundation is Hatha yoga. Everything started from Hatha yoga, and after that, now in modern yoga we have so many different types of yoga, which is Yin yoga, Vinyasa yoga, and all that. So Hatha yoga is the main where it all started from. I think I also need to give you theory lessons No, I don't. But I'll give you knowledge.
We can surely have
Yeah.
that. And I'm even so much, curious about the chakras and the healing
Yeah.
and all of that. It's so deep and it's such a profound knowledge. And could you share some basic,
Like as I have mentioned, heart chakra. So whenever your chest opens in any kind of asana, like for say example chakrasana, which is wheel pose. So whenever your shoulders are getting broad or getting expanded, your heart chakra is getting activated slowly and steadily along, like depends on the time you have been practicing it. So once your heart chakra is activated, you feel quite you are quite compassionate, lovable. So each chakras work like that.
that is so
Yeah.
so good to know about it.
Also, how do you like deal with your students? Like, because you don't get like same type of people, like right? I mean, few are like way too flexible, but few are not. Like, what if they give up too easy? Like, how do you motivate them?
See, that is a very good question, because there are a lot of people who comes to us and they say, okay, how long will it take me to perform this asana? When will I be able to do this asana and all that? But I think it's the matter of time. You just have to give yoga and the posture some time. You have to know more about it, like what part of your body is getting stretched.
So, like, how do you deal with your students? Because you don't get same type of people, right? Like, few are like good, like flexible, and few are not. So, how do you motivate them if they give up too easily?
There are so many students who come to us asking how much time will it take for us to do this asana, and when will I be able to do this asana. But for you to perform any kind of asana, you need to give time to it. Like start practicing it daily, give your heart to it, give your all to it, and then give it some time. Maybe after a few weeks or a month you'll be able to do it, and once they achieve certain asanas, they'll be so happy and they'll want to move to another one. But I can see how happy they get, so I always push them, okay, once you do it you'll be so happy, just keep on practicing it. So I think that's the best part of my journey too, that to see their satisfaction. So I think it's the best.
Also, for a healthy lifestyle, we need exercise, we need the right sleep schedule, and also the perfect diet. So, what are your thoughts on having the perfect diet?
So I was quite chubby a few years back. So even I believe that diet is a very important part of your lifestyle. So I believe that in diet you just need to follow basic rules of dieting, which is to eat early as possible, which is at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Then you need to eat in portions. And like you don't have to stop eating anything, but I just believe that you have to eat in a little portion, which will help you to maintain your body and to be healthy too. Yeah.
Eating junk food.
Yeah, and just add more fruits and vegetables to your diet.
I feel like diet is such a crucial part of everything. It is the foundation of everything.
Yes. In any kind of fitness journey, I believe that it is a fact that 70% is your diet and only 30% is your workout. So it is a very important part.
Is it?
Yes. You guys need lessons.
And a very good friend sitting over here, I want to ask you about maintaining a healthy sleep schedule. What are your thoughts on that?
I think if you start working out, your sleep schedule will be fixed automatically, because your body and mind will be tired. So I think that will help you to sleep on time. So just start workout in any way.
9 to 10.
Yes, 9 to 10 a.m. Peaceful Minds by Isha. You can cut that. There's just one stereotypical which I would like to break. and that is that people mostly believe that yoga is for flexible people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and I've heard many people saying that no, yoga is not my cup of tea because I'm not flexible. So, one thing I would like to break is that it is not true, guys, because once you start performing yoga, then you become flexible, then you gain the flexibility and the strength along with it. So it is not true that only flexible people can do it. You gain the flexibility after practicing yoga.
Even when I started yoga with her, not with her, from her, I wasn't flexible enough, to do even a chakrasan.
Yeah.
So when I started, it took me time, but eventually it did happen. So I think this stereotype is a bit too much.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
really feel that it's a journey. You'll even when I started, I couldn't even touch my hand to the ground, to
Yeah,
my feet.
same.
And I was like, oh my god, I'm so rigid. But then after 1 week, I could do better. Then after a month, I was so happy just that I could touch my
Yeah,
hand to the
same.
ground, and that was such a good
Yes.
feeling.
So as I mentioned that it is a matter of time.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
That's great to hear. And apart from practicing yoga, what are your thoughts on meditation? And I feel that for me, it is very difficult to put all my thoughts aside and meditate for 5 minutes. So, what are your thoughts for beginners? What do we do?
It is very true that in the beginning it is difficult to concentrate, yes, but it is very common. Even me, after performing yoga, after meditating, even I get so many thoughts while I'm meditating, but you have to know that it is normal to have these thoughts, and meditation is something where you have to be present in the present. So whenever you are meditating, one very simple way to meditate is just to feel where you are right now. Like right now I am sitting on this chair, I can see where my hand is, I can feel my legs, where my pressure is. So I think that is meditation, being in the present and being where you are at the moment. That is meditation for me.
I think for this generation, concentrating is, I think, a bit too difficult.
Yes, it is. I think even 2 to 3 minutes of meditation, just put on a music and just listen to the music, that is also meditation. Just see what are your thoughts. Just try to be in the present. That is me explaining meditation in a very simple way.
Yeah. And I remember, when I was a bit younger, I used to meditate with my grandparents and with my family. We used to do that visualization wala meditation where they would say, imagine that you're in this beautiful waterfall, and it, I used to do it so well when I was young. Maybe I feel that my mind was not constantly clouded with thoughts at that time, and I would do it for 10 minutes, 12 minutes at a very tender age, in 5th or 6th standard. I used to do that. And now when I try to put my focus on it for even 2 minutes, I'm like, damn, this is hard.
Yes, for that I believe same, that just start a music and try to concentrate on the music, and even if there are thoughts coming in your mind, just tell to yourself that it is very common to have thoughts. It will just come and go, but try to concentrate on the music. It will help you a lot, because our thoughts, it is going to come. Just tell your mind it's okay, you can think, but I'm going to try to focus on the music. I think that's the best way to meditate.
Didn't you put up a story of a pizza? You have thoughts about pizza while doing yoga.
Yes. Oh my god.
That just popped up in my mind out of nowhere.
Yes, that is true. Sometimes when we are performing, we are thinking about something else, and then we are like, it's okay. these thoughts are going to come, but try to focus on your breath. Even when you are performing yoga, that is also kind of meditation, because you know that what posture you are holding, what is stretching, which part of your body is stretching, and which chakra is opening. So I think yoga in itself, when you do it consciously, is like meditation.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes. And I feel that if we do yoga amidst the beauty of nature and surrounded by all these greenery and all of that, it is way more, it has a healing power.
Yes, because in the nature you feel fresh, surrounded by trees and everything. The sound of the birds, yes, and the breezy air, and I think that makes it very beautiful to practice yoga in nature. And if you are performing by the bank of river or something, I think it's all the way more beautiful, because the sound of nature is quite healing.
Yeah, I would love to perform yoga by the sounds of
I think we also need to plan a trip to Rishikesh.
we need a retreat.
Where do you prefer, practicing yoga? Like if you're at your house or maybe.
I simply perform yoga in my room, but I prefer to open all my windows and the doors to to keep the air moving, to keep the room ventilated. So I think that's the best way I perform yoga right now.
That's great. I'm going a little off track here, but I have a question. Do you like reading?
Yes. Raashi and her obsession with reading.
Recently, I've started reading a lot of self-help because I think I need a lot of help.
Everyone does.
Yeah, so recently I started reading and I read this very good book called Chatter, in which they tell us how to overcome your chatter. Like, we chat to ourselves like a lot of times. Like, how am I like this?
Yeah.
Do I need to overthink this?
Yeah.
Like, even before coming to this podcast, I was like, will I be able to do this? But then the chatter, this book is all about that, how to overcome yourself, self chatter, and to be yourself and who you actually are. So I think you can read that. It will help you a lot.
Surely read that. I will ask you for its link also after the podcast is over.
Yeah, I'll give you my book. I have a physical one.
Oh, that's great. You want to read that too?
Do you think I read?
She is such a lazy person when it comes to reading.
Yeah, even I was not a reader, but recently I think self-help is actually very helpful to me. So I'm more keen in that.
Okay, so I would like to ask that, in your years of this, as a yoga instructor, the journey of yoga instructor, you've taught to the diverse range of people, right? So what is your favorite memory of it?
I think the best part about my work is that I've taught a 10-year-old to a 60-year-old, but my best experience is the kind of bond I form with them, because like I never thought that I'll be a trainer, like I'll be an instructor. So whenever I'm with a student, I always feel that student teacher kind of a bond, and I think that's the best kind of a feeling. And what's the best part, that when a student is trying since many months to unlock some asana, so that is the best feeling when they actually are able to do it. So I feel so proud of them, and it's a very good experience for me as a trainer, that I did not give up on them and even motivated them to do their best. So I think that's the best part about
That's like the feeling of proudness you get when the student is able to do whatever they were trying to unlock. So
Yoga must have not been your plan all along.
No, it wasn't.
If not yoga, where would you have been today?
Yeah.
What alternate.
I was actually keen in photography before this. I even asked my dad that can we buy a camera, DSLR, but he was like, yeah, we'll see about that. And it just, but then I was like, okay, if we can't buy a camera, it's okay, it's fine. Then I got keen into this. I started practicing more and more, and I haven't stopped since.
But she used to click really good pictures of mine with the camera like we had.
Photography, I tell you.
It's interesting,
Yeah.
but not the editing part.
Not the technical part.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So also about as you were discussing earlier that about your journey that you had suffered from PCOD. So that was a push for you to practice yoga. There are so many people suffering from thyroid, hypertension, high BP, low BP, so many common ailments that we have around us. So what are your tips for them related to fitness, related to yoga?
So when it comes to people with high blood pressure, I think there are many asanas they cannot hold and many postures they cannot perform. So because for them it is very important for us to take care that we don't make them do any kind of asana or pranayam which is not good for them. They cannot hold their breath for a longer period of time because it's very dangerous for them. So we just need to take care of that people with such ailments does not perform such asana or pranayam. Like for high blood pressure, we cannot make them perform Kapal Bhati pranayam or Bhastrika pranayam because it is already warm for our body and they're already having high blood pressure. So it doesn't go well with people having such ailments.
And I think you might have come across students like if they're not able to do some pose, they'll push harder to do it, like even if they're at their maximum flexibility. So is it like good for them or is it not?
I believe that yoga is not something where you have to unlock each and every asana. Like you need to do it because it is a slow process and you have to keep you need to be a little bit patient with it because if anything happens to them, it is also our responsibility because as yoga trainers we have to let them know that don't push beyond your limit. Just do it with your own limit. Just hold in posture wherever you are comfortable. So I think that's it.
There are two things that my yoga instructor once said. One was that whenever you're doing any asana, keep a wide smile on your face and feel good and do it. Half of your stress will be gone that way. And the second was the deeper breaths you'll take, the longer life you'll have. So
That is very true. Like even our mood depends on our breath. Like if when you are very angry, just take 2 to 3 deep breaths and just see yourself being from very calm to from being very angry to being very calm in just a few seconds. So whenever you are feeling not well, feeling anxious, just take deep breaths and I think it will solve many of your problems.
yes, I agree. Like breath work and deep breathing and all of that, it is so useful in so many things.
Yes, and even while performing asana or doing any sequence or vinyasa yoga, it is very important to do it with proper breathing because that will help you to do a posture correctly and you'll know that where you can hold your breath, when you can release your breath, and it will help you to practice yoga even better.
That was a lot of knowledge for just 30 minutes and we are so grateful for that. It was like a masterclass on yoga.
Yeah, actually.
Yes, and we would
knowledge.
love to have more conversations with you. Thanks to Diya for having you on board with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a beautiful time that we had and we'll see you guys again in our next episode. And
Till then, keep listening to Weird and Wise podcast. Also, don't miss out watching it too because now that we have a video podcast, so do not miss it. And stay Stay tuned.